Hey, hello everyone. Celine from It's Simple Artisan Soaps. Yeah, after a long time. Don't mind my dog. She loves to uh, guard the whole lane. So, okay. Today I am making a candle. This is a cocoa apricot, a coconut and apricot wax candle. Uh, I like using coconut apricot wax because it burns. Okay, sorry. I was saying that I like to use coconut apricot wax because it burns really clean. In fact, when you pour, it has a very smooth top. Uh, and I normally use woodwicks for that. And if it's a I basically use this. In this I use woodwick, and for my smaller areas in my house I use this. In this I use a cotton wick. So now the only thing about this wax is that it's soft. So you cannot really use it as a wax melt. I have made wax melt with it for myself. It's superb. It has a fantastic hot throw, cold throw. It's But the thing is that if you plan on selling it, the wax melt wouldn't really be you cannot really keep it out for that long because it's a very soft wax. But since I don't sell that, I just use it for myself. It works perfectly since it's kept under controlled temperature. It maintains a shape, but and when I use it in my wax melt, it has a fantastic hot throw to it. So that's about what I use and why I use it. So let's get into the making. It's not a very difficult thing to make a candle. I'll show you all what I do. It's a very simple process. So let's get into the making. So this is the wax, the cocoa apricot wax. It's so soft. I got this from Virgin Candle Supplies. Uh, it's a real soft wax. Now I have two different pots. If I'm making a bigger batch, I use this. Otherwise, I use this. So I'm making just a small batch, just for my use. So I'll be using this one. Now this I believe is a 8-ounce container, and this is a 4-ounce. So I need wax to go for this. So 8 plus 4 is 14, but I'm not going to use 14 ounces because there's going to be the fragrance oil that goes in. I put fragrance oil at 10%. So there'll be fragrance oil that goes in. So I'll tell you how much I use. Give me just a moment. Yes, so I'm going to be using the wax is going to be 12 ounces, and 10% of that is 1.2 ounces of the fragrance oil. I am going to be using eucalyptus and mint because obviously it's going to be autumn, going to have the cold, the flu. So my son suggested we have something with this to burn in the house. So the wax I'm going to be taking is 12 ounces of the wax. Get the knife. It's very easy to cut. It's 12 ounces of wax. Now this I will put it in a hot bath, melt it down, and I'll get you back. Now I am going to heat this up to a temperature of 200. Then I'll reduce the temperature and I'll add the fragrance oil at around 180 degrees, and that's my thermometer that I use, okay? And I'll add the fragrance at 180 and I'll pour this at a temperature of 170 to 175. So let me put this melt it. I'll get you all back when I'm putting the wicks into my containers. Okay, so now to wick these containers, okay? In this I'm going to be using a wooden wick. I got these from Amazon. That's the wick. That's the wick. And that's the stand. So just go and so. Now, earlier what I had done was I have sprayed 99% rubbing alcohol. I wiped it clean. I let it dry out for both of these, so there's no residue, no dust or anything in this. So they all wiped clean. And I have these stickers which I use. And for this, I have these wicks which I bought from Amazon. Now earlier what I used to do was I used to use the spool. Basically this is for pillar candles, but I used to use it. It used to work pretty fine, but then when I saw this available, I said let me try if it works well, and this works well for this little glass. Now this glass, if you all want to know, is a glass that I bought tiramisu in from Costco. So these are not something that I bought as this or for making candles, but this was something in which there was tiramisu, and I just washed it and I am reusing it. Okay, so if you ask me where I got these from, it's buy tiramisu from Costco, use the tiramisu, and then this is available. And this works very nice in small areas in my house, like the restrooms, the washrooms, the bedroom. So it gives a nice. This is good for small areas. So I removed the top of one. I place this as much in the center as possible. And then I try to push it as much as in the center as possible of the container. And then I take, you can use anything, I push it down to secure it. Then I adjust the stick just as so. This is also the same way. Get that off. Now for this, I just use straw. Take the container, center it. Now, as I said, you can use anything. This. Just make sure that it is secured down. Just press it down. Now to place this in the center so that it doesn't move around, I have these pins. Okay, these got these also from Amazon. Just so that you can hold them in place. Now before I bought those, I had something like, two skewers, and I tied it with some ties, and that's what I used to use. So I can show you all. I like to do it for my wood wicks also, so that when I'm pouring the wax, they don't move. And so now these are ready. We'll wait for the wax to melt. Okay, once the wax is melted, I'll come back to show you all the next step. Okay, so we've got the wax melted. Okay, this is almost at 200. It's at 195. Okay, now we let this cool down to around a 180, 185, and then we will add in the fragrance oil. And when we add the fragrance oil, it's obviously going to even, the temperature is going to drop even more. So if it's between a 175 and a 170, we can pour the wax into our containers. So now we are at a temperature of 190. Just be careful that these things are hot, okay, because you've just removed it from hot. And after I pour this, I'll show you how I clean this up also. Now after I pour it, I let it harden up, and then I cut the wicks to length. Okay, and then before I let it cure for 3 to 4 days before I can burn it. Okay, we are at a 180. Let's add in the fragrance. We need 1.2 ounces. Okay, so this, I'll just pour it through this. As soon as I mixed it, it's fallen to 175, the temperature. Now you can give this a good stir. Do not just think, okay, it looks all mixed, it's mixed. No, it's not. You need to continuously stir this for at least 2 minutes so that your fragrance oil is combined well with the wax. Otherwise, what will happen is if you don't stir it well, you pour it, there's going to be a separation of your fragrance oil from your wax. Don't have to aggressively stir it because it can cause bubbles. You don't want bubbles because then it can have bubbles when you pour your candle. When you don't want bubbles in your candle. So stir it, but not aggressively where you create bubbles, but stir it well. Keep an eye on the temperature. So now this temperature is reduced to 170. I'll just clean this. and we will pour. I mean, you can keep it on the measuring scale and pour. I just eyeball it because this is for my own use. But if you're selling it, you can measure to see how much wax you're pouring. So that when you label it, you have the right amount put there. Now for this one, I don't go all the way up because I have a wooden lid, a bamboo lid, which fits in. So this is poured in. Now we let this harden, let this cool. Now for cleaning, all I do is take a tissue, wipe it down. Once you pour, try not to move your container around much. Now this is clean of wax. Okay. Now all I will do is wash this with hot soapy water to remove any residue that will be there in this. Okay. Give me 1 minute. Now to clean the thermometer and that stick, I just use I have already wiped it down with the tissue. Now to remove any other, I mean, you can wash this with soapy water, but I'm okay with just doing this. And might as well just do this too, right? There you go. It's clean. Now I'll get you all back when I'm ready to cut the wick. So when it's all solid and I'm ready to cut the wick to size. Okay guys, so these seems to have hardened up. I mean, they're slightly warm, but it's okay. It's not too bad. So I just take a scissor and I cut it so. Now for the woodwick, what I do is I cut it at an angle. It's a slight angle. You'll see that. So that when I burn it, it gets an even burn. So and see, it's smooth top. I don't have to go in with a heat gun or anything to smoothen it out. That's why I like cocoa, the coconut apricot wax. It gives a very smooth finish to the candle. Now I let this cure for around 2 days and then I can use it. It's got a wonderful fragrance right now. Uh, Even the cold throw with this wax is really nice. Uh, the hot throw is good, so is the cold throw. So let's, I'll wait for 2 days and then I can start using it. You can wait for longer, it's not a problem. But I normally just wait for 2 days and then I use it. So that's how I make my candles. I am planning on making a video of how I make my soap bars. It's basically a hibiscus and rice soap bar. Not a cold process soap. I've already made a hibiscus cold process soap. This is not that. This is uh, with with the other ingredients. So I'll show you all how I make that. I have been using it. It really gives a nice smooth texture to the hair. So I thought, I should share it with you all because it's really nice, at least for my kind of hair. Uh, Mine is a very Asian or an Indian kind of a hair. It's each strand is very thick, uh, and it's like, it's not the softest or the smoothest hair. So, but this really gives a good feel. So I'll show you all how I make that. So look forward to that video and see you all soon. If you all think this was useful, please do share the video. If you all like it, please do hit the like button, and if you all have not subscribed, please do subscribe to the channel. It does help me a lot. uh, and that's about it. See you all soon. Bye.